And good evening. My name is Ryan Belmar. I'm the owner and publisher of WhatsUpNewp, and we are continuing our conversations. Over the last month, you've seen us do 50 of these. We've been doing them for much longer than that, but the last 50 or 51 have been all about politics. We decided to keep our series going. It won't be as frequent. We won't be doing 6 or 7 a day, but we'll be chatting with some interesting people or people who think they are interesting during these series, and occasionally you'll see the dogs in the background as well. Today we are talking about a new book that is out, and it is Seinfeld, the official cookbook. A little preview here. And that author of that book, well, co-author of that book is Brendan Kirby, and Brendan joins me. Brendan, how are you?
Hi, Ryan. How's it going, man?
I'm doing well. As soon as I get this video to stop here, this is for years now, I've been on the road show, and usually this is swapped.
Yes, I'm usually asking the stupid questions.
Today, I have the honor of asking. I was really, in roadshow fashion, I was really trying to come up with a way to do a cold open. You know, trying to get the dogs involved, but, you know, it just wouldn't work. So,
well, I love the fact that you were even thinking that way, and it's so nice to be with you, all kidding aside. I've gotten to know you very well over the years, and we always enjoy welcoming you on. And you, my friend, hold the distinction, I believe, of being a member of the last Roadie Roundup panel before the pandemic in studio.
It was March of 2020. We were at that point. This is how much we've gone through with the pandemic. At that point, we were just kicking each other's feet instead of high fives or hugs or shaking hands. Yeah, but I was the last one on, and luckily, you guys had me back since I was just back on the show in July to talk about Newport Folk Festival and Newport Jazz Festival.
Totally. And now here we are connecting to chat about this book, which I'm so proud to be a co-author of. And now, are you a big Seinfeld nut fan?
Here's the thing. This gave me some throwbacks today, a little bit of trauma. So I think you and I I'm probably a little bit older than you.
I'm 65.
I'm 67 myself. But, you know, going through high school, watched it. The finale was on a night of my wrestling banquet. I wrestled at Coventry High School, one of the greatest wrestling programs in United States history.
Cool.
And we were undefeated, but they had cut the banquet short so that way everybody could get home to see the finale.
Now that's big.
That's big. Like you win all these matches, you do all this stuff, and but here we are anyway. How does
learn how to read?
You seem like a very busy man. How did the idea of writing a book about the official cookbook of Seinfeld come together?
Well, it started on a hot July day when I was born in the early '80s. I was just a man with a writing dream. No, you know our mutual friend Julie Tremaine. She's a travel writer, and she's actually already frequent roadshow guest. She and I got to know each other over the years when she would be on the show as well. And she actually has co-authored a few culinary pop culture inspired cookbooks. So derivative of different shows and whatnot. So this particular publisher that she has been working with, they kind of have I don't want to say the market cornered, but they kind of specialize in, finding these things that have a fun take or a fun voice or an audience that is really passionate, kind of connecting it to the kitchen, which I think is really cool. So she texts me like just about a year ago. I've got to talk to you. And I said, all right, well, what's going on? And I call her and she said, I've been approached for my next project to do a Seinfeld inspired cookbook. And my head is blown at this point because I'm like, this is great. What do you need from me? Like, can I be of assistance? Even if you don't need help, I'm going to offer it because I love Seinfeld. And she said, well, would you like to co-author it with me? And I thought, well, this is an interesting proposition. And I thought, that sounds like a lot of fun. And I've been saying this in a few of the different interviews I've done. I don't mean to like bring it down, but I share this for a reason. my father had actually just passed away about a week before Julie approached me with this offer. And my head was like spinning, Ryan, because you just your world is shattered and things are not right. And here I am being offered this incredible opportunity to write about my all-time favorite show, and I'm like, I don't know what's happening right now. So she said, just think about it. And so I did, and maybe a week later, and the reason I invoked that story is because I could just hear my father. You write that book, and you get in there and you do that, because he really believed in hard work and taking advantage of opportunities. So if this thing had come out, which it is now a year later, and it had someone else's name on it alongside Julie's, I would have been kicking myself forever because I love the show so much. So we just kind of got together, started figuring it out, throwing ideas at each other of how we would connect this to that. And the reason she asked me, Ryan, is because Julie's a fan of the show, but I'm next level sociopathic when it comes to Seinfeld. So she knew that I would have the references and that I'd be able to handle the task. So I fired off some samples of my writing to the publisher. They liked it. And next thing you know, we were getting to work.
Look at you go. I just want to share because you shared my father growing up. This show was on from what, 80, 89, 90 to 98.
Yeah.
He would watch it every night. And he passed away. But often when I see the name, I often think of him because it would kind of be a thing that we would do together.
Yeah, and I think everyone out there might have some kind of similar experience, be it Seinfeld or some other show or song or something like that. But also, it was my dad had such a strong work ethic, and he would have loved that I got hired to do this, and the fact that I love comedy and Seinfeld. The Seinfeld show and Jerry's comedy really helped to shape my sensibility. A few other things as well, but made me kind of fall in love with comedy really at a very young age and make it something that I wanted to pursue within like the broadcasting environment. So it was a perfect fit, and now my name's on the book. How cool is that?
Yeah, and before we get too far down the line here, best place to get it, I know it's on simonandschuster.com.
hmm
Where's your favorite place that you're pointing people to?
I gave them out to the trick or treaters recently, so just stop
Yeah.
by the, come on over and I'll give you one at the door. I'm told, Ryan, it's in all bookstores and any outlet where you buy your books. I've been joking that it's available for shoplifting now. You know me, I like to joke around, but it's available everywhere. I had a buddy of mine just send me a picture from Barnes and Noble in Manhattan, and it was right up there with all the other cookbooks, and I was like, that's awesome.
Yeah. So is it, Brendan Kirby author? I mean, is this a new way we're going here?
Well, for years I've been joking that I specialize in erotic fiction, but I guess now I can legitimately I can remove that joke from my act and say that I'm a published author, and I'm super proud of it because I always wanted to be a writer, like a comedy writer for Letterman or Conan or something like that. So I'm no stranger to creating things and coming up with scripts, and I host events and I'm always writing an act, and I like writing jokes and performance material from that perspective, but that's also writing. That stuff's all connected somehow to a creative mechanism. And so I knew I could do some kind of writing like this. And I'm always very proud of my ability with words. And I think now that my name is actually officially attached to a licensed product, in the sense that it has been authorized by Jerry and by the show, I mean, I think that kind of legitimizes me just a little bit. And I have Julie to thank for it.
I was surprised we were able to get you on because I imagine that the amount of phone calls and the Brinks trucks backing up to your house every night
Oh,
must
yeah.
must be must be a thing. Going back and thinking about all the times I watched it, I don't think it ever connected with me about food. Did you have to go back and watch all 9 seasons to come up with every single dish?
It's funny. No, because I have this. It's embedded in my psyche now. Because Julie even said to me, she said, "Brendan, I think the first time I met you, you quoted Seinfeld." She said to me, "You didn't know that I liked it. I quote it all the time because those of us who are obsessed with the show, we just quote it because it's part of our vernacular." But I didn't really go back and look at a lot. A few things I needed to make sure I had a name right or something like that. But Julie was really good, Ryan, at kind of putting together how we would make the dish or whatever it was. So obviously you have to have the classics like the black and white cookie, the big salad, but then there are like the deep cuts, the things that are just kind of derivative of a storyline that are somehow connected to a plot line that somehow translated to a dish that someone actually could make. that's where Julie was awesome because she knew how to make the actual thing. And like we do cooking segments on the road show, I love them, but I'm not a great chef per se. So my role was kind of how could we connect this story and come up with punny names. She also came up with a bunch, but collaboratively, we had a winner here once we were all done. And the challenge was actually to edit it down to the 60 recipes that are in it because we had a lot of ideas. But food does play a central or a secondary role in so many of the episodes.
Yeah, I guess you realize it after thinking back that how often they are in a restaurant or how often they are talking about food. Um, it's quite
Hmm.
remarkable. Um, you know, how do you get this approved by the cast, by the team?
Blackmail.
Yeah, that's what I figured.
We have pictures of Jason Alexander. No, the publisher took care of all that. Insight Editions. That was the beauty of it. Julie knows more about the inner workings of this, and she kind of was. Well, she didn't do it, but they kind of told her that they would be doing that, so they kind of took care of that. Castle Rock Entertainment, I believe, owns the intellectual property. I mean, obviously Jerry and Larry David Seinfeld and Larry David co-created it, so I'm told they did have to sign off on it. We're told that Jerry has seen it and liked it, and to me, that's really all I need. One of my comedic heroes knows that I was associated with his iconic show. That's pretty awesome. And even if this hadn't been official, Ryan, I mean, I was still delighted and elated to be part of it. But the fact that like we could, use the logo and use the photos is pretty awesome. I've been joking around that it's the unofficial official cookbook, but I'm only kidding when I say that it's official, which is awesome.
Obviously, it's coming out or it came out at a good time. People are starting to think about holiday shopping. Who is this book good for?
Well, it's perfect for Festivus. Let's get real. For everyone who's disappointed in you in your life. Really, it's funny. The first interview I did about the book, and I think I was doing it solo. I wasn't with Julie. I was talking to someone, and I said, like I told you earlier in this conversation, which I know everyone is thoroughly enjoying, that
Get
I'm
out of
not
the way after.
that I'm not really great in the kitchen. However, even if I wasn't a co-author of this project, as a huge Seinfeld fan, this is something that I would want to have in my collection, like in my bookcase. So, but also the beauty of it is you can make the recipes. I mean, you can open this thing up if you're having a party or something and you want to just have some fun. You can make the number one salsa in America or something like that. You can actually make these things and have some fun, or just have it as a conversation piece and get it for someone in your life who loves Seinfeld.
Any thoughts on is there going to be an official Festivus party in the state of Rhode Island where you
I think
have this book? I mean, I know people, people. Maybe we can make this happen.
Yeah, it's not a bad idea. I will we'll get the pole out of the crawl space, as Frank Costanza says, and you just never know. I just think there are so many possibilities. Seinfeld was so creative and so well done, and I think that's why it spoke to so many people because the ideas were so strong and the storylines were just simply put, they were hilarious. And as long as it was fun, as long as it's funny to me, that's what it's all about. So there are many possibilities. You never know, man. Are you coming if I have one?
I'm gonna be an organizer, a volunteer organizer for you. I already have the space. What do we need? Do we want a theater? Do we want a restaurant? Uh,
Mm.
we could do a restaurant where the restaurant makes some of these things and it's on their menu, so you can order from it. And
Yeah,
then,
I
yeah,
love it. I love it.
you can sign the books, and then we'll walk across the way. We'll go to a theater. Perhaps you could talk about it. We could watch an episode. Jerry can come out. Um, I could
I
ask,
love it.
Jay. I could ask Jay if he could have Jerry come.
I well, that would be something. I'm so hoping that I could. This book allows me to somehow meet Jerry. I'm working on it. I'm trying to make it happen, and I adore Larry David's comedy as well. I find him to be just funny. Just the two of them have had such an impact on me, and I know Jay is friends with Jerry, so you never know what could happen. I like to say the sky's the limit.
You never
It's an
know.
expression. It's
There
an
are
expression I just
60,
came up with.
yeah, 60 recipes in the book, and perfect for any of the Seinfeld fans in your life, which there are many.
Oh yeah, and
And it's
another thing I keep saying to people, Ryan, is as I cut you off, I apologize, is that this is just like this show now has been off the air for 24 years, but it's still so culturally relevant and it's still so currently relevant in the sense that situations are so relatable and so funny. And who would have thought all these years later that they would not only that I would be associated with something like this, but it would still be going strong and still making people laugh. That's a testament to the creativity and the true staying power of the comedy.
Favorite recipe in the book?
Well, I'm particularly proud of when I came up with this one. I almost drove off the road. It's the name is when it hit me. I was like, "That's a winner. I got to write that down." It's George's "What the hell? I'll just eat some trash eclair," because there's the episode where he eats the eclair out of the tray, he sees it on the top within the cylinder, and I'm like, "That's a winner of a name right there." And so I think maybe a good dessert. Kramer's won't keep casseroles pretty good. And Julie loves the butter shaved turkey because that's classic. The image of Kramer just, with everyone knows and loves that. And we see it
Yeah,
every
that's a big one.
Thanksgiving and whatnot. So I really think there's something for everyone. And it's not just recipes, actually. I'm particularly proud, Ryan. Like, there's a full introduction that I wrote. We've got these Venn diagrams of the different characters and the minor players, and then there are these humorous little asides. So it'll eat up some of your time in a good way.
Good. I'm gonna actually go on and buy a copy, so I could sit with the rest of the books behind me that I haven't read yet.
Well, I thank you very much, and this has been so much fun, and I hope people check it out.
Yeah, and you can find it at your favorite local bookstore. If you look at SimonandSchuster.com, Amazon.com, Barnes and Noble. Go into Charter Books if you're watching in Newport, and ask them for it. If they don't have it, they'll certainly get it for you. Stephen Crew is good. And are you out doing autographed copies or anything?
Well, I don't have any signings scheduled right now. You never know what could happen. You know, there's an episode where George is trying to get out of doing something, and he goes, my duties with the Yankees. So I say my duties with the road show. It's how much time we put into that. So, and we are getting into a very busy time of year. So, I've been signing many of them. So if I see you and you have it, I'm happy to sign it. But as of now, we don't have anything concrete
All
set up.
right. Well, I will. I'll sign you up for one.
Sign SEIN me up.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You see
I've been
that?
joking. I've been joking that we would call it a signing, but
There you go. What's happening at the road show? What's happening with you?
Oh my goodness, how much time do you have? We're on live every weekday, 9 a.m. WPRI 12. Will Gilbert, Michaela Johnson, and myself. I still sometimes, Ryan, I can't believe I get to do it every day because I just, me, I wanted to be a talk show host and comedian and funny guy on TV for such a long time. And the fact that I still get to do it is awesome. Just the other day, I got to you walk in every day, Ryan. You never know who you're going to get to interview. I mean, or what's going to come across your plate that day. Tony Danza.
Look at that, huh?
How cool is that? And he couldn't have been nicer. And you close your eyes, you hear the voice. It's the exact same. So I got to chat with him the other day. He's coming to the New England area on tomorrow. We're taping this on Thursday the 10th. He'll be here on November 11th. But each and every day, my friend, there are guests, there are cooking segments. It's lively. Today we had the folks from Koch Eye on the show. So right away yesterday, a light bulb went off. I said, I know what I have to do. I need to bring in my first ever pair of glasses and put them on the show. So and I did, and it was just like that, and we had some laughs. So we're live every day. The live element is awesome, and you never know what can happen. And the energy between Will, Michaela, and me is just great, and I love doing it. And please check us out on social media too at the Road Show, or follow me at Brendan Kirby TV, and just it's just cool. I love how at the beginning of this you said you were thinking about doing a roadshow type of cold open for this because that's another thing I love when we can I can write an idea. We recently I did the roadshow as a sitcom opening, which I'm particularly proud of. I've been wanting to do that for like forever. So you never know. We're getting creative every day, and we're rocking and rolling. Which I just sounded like a dad right there, but
That's all right. It's awesome, and I've known you guys for several years. I've been on several times, and you guys do really highlight and focus on and bring attention to a lot of the great events and activities and people across the state. So you do a good
yeah,
job.
and thanks, man. And I think the other thing too that really sets the road show apart, the three we really all have a passion for broadcasting, and I have a huge passion for entertaining. And I think that comes through. There's a real polish, I think, to the show from each and every day that we bring to it that shows that we really care and we want the viewers to have fun when we're watching it. If we're having fun, they're hopefully having fun, and you just try to do something to brighten someone's day, and that's really all it is. We got to get you back on. It's been far too long, buddy.
I know. I will. I'll let you know next time I'm up your way, and we will jump on and do a little roadie roundup or talk about something else going on.
Absolutely, and things are so great at Newport. I was just there recently, and it's just unbelievable. So I'm really happy to be on with What's Up Newport. This is great stuff.
Yeah, of course. Maybe maybe you and I can go and check out Doug Key's comedy special coming up, and maybe we can harass him a little bit at the show.
Oh, he's the greatest, and he was so nice. He let me open up the Rogue Island Comedy Festival. Like last fall, I got to do some stuff on the theater at the Jane Pickens, and that was a real thrill for me because I don't do stand up regularly, but I do like getting in front of the live crowd. And it was so kind of him. I had a blast, and that Rogue Island thing has just turned into something awesome.
Yeah, I mean, there's a good example of the pandemic working in mysterious ways where now all of a sudden it's twice a year. It would have never probably gone that way had it not had to split up. But Doug's doing good
Yeah.
stuff. We're proud to be the media sponsor, a media sponsor of that event as well. But Seinfeld, the official cookbook by yourself, as well as Julie, and people can find it at their favorite local bookstores. There it is. Buy it for the favorite. Anybody in your life who loves Seinfeld will love this book.
He sure will. Hey, where's Frank Prosnitz? He stood us up.
He did. Frank sets up interviews. I keep looking to see if he pops in, but he got caught in traffic. I don't know where he was going in Rhode Island. That traffic takes time, but it happened.
No, I've known Frank for maybe almost 20 years, and he's a good friend, and I'm really happy he could connect us to do this.
Yeah, he is cream of the crop. He has been with us. Oh man, we are 11 years old, and I feel like he's been 7 years probably with us. So he's a good man. He did a lot of our successes because of Frank. So we'll say all the nice stuff in case he pops up.
Oh no, yeah, exactly. No, he's great. You're great, and this has been a lot of fun. Thank you for the time.
Well, we will we'll catch you soon on the road show tomorrow morning, and we will catch the book soon, and we'll all be reading it around the Festivus tree this Festivus season.
Sounds like a plan. Thanks, Ryan.
All right, Brendan. That is Brendan Kirby. The book, Seinfeld, the official cookbook, and you can find it at Simon & Schuster, all of your favorite local bookstores, available now. Thanks for watching.